too long, don't watch of this video is I took a good trade, I was in profit, it was going well, and then news came out and completely blew through where I set my alert. I came to the computer, saw what happened. I was hoping it'd pull back instead of just fully stop me out. I impulse buyed or impulse sold again, and it hit me for my daily loss limit. So I understand why people, especially YouTube influencers, trading influencers, don't want to show their losses or their bad days or their emotional decisions because it ruins their brand. It ruins pretty much what they've built, right? If they're selling courses, if they're selling a product, they don't want to show the losses, right? Because there's so many days like these that we have as traders where things like this happen and it sucks, right? So if you're selling something, if you're selling a mentorship, a course, or whatever, you don't want to show that. You just want to show that you're constantly winning, right? And obviously, I'm not selling anything. I don't have a mentorship, I'm not promoting a fake life, right? A fake lifestyle. So whenever I come on here and I have days like today, 2 days in a row where it's like I literally had an awesome trade. We were just waiting for it to hit close to this level, right? We were about maybe about 8 points away, and we're trying not to look at the chart. When things like that happen, it it's frustrating, right? So again, one trade goes well, unfortunate circumstance. Second trade, impulse sell in this case, it doesn't go well. I'm a slave. I'm a slave to my emotions mostly, right? Am I a slave to the money? Apparently so. And I was watching Vinland Saga today. It's a great anime, by the way. Um, I'm watching season one, but I've already watched season one in the past. But today's episode, I think it was episode 8. Basically, long story short, is one of the main characters says that everyone's a slave to something, right? And I was thinking about that, and I was like, what am I a slave to? And it's my emotions, my emotions. I call this channel Trading Stoically because that's what I want to be. That is not what I am, right? For the most part, especially too if I'm vulnerable. So obviously yesterday, you guys know what happened. If you watched the video where the patient fell, today was another tough day in the ICU, but it wasn't anything like yesterday, so it was fine on that regard. I was excited to come home and not trade, but to follow my process and stick to it, which I did. But whenever you have something like that happen where you just get stopped out on news, especially after a losing day or a tough day, and you just want to recover so bad, like it's just so easy to be emotional and to say, okay, you know what? I don't care anymore, which is pretty much what I did. So I think it's something that I need to obviously, I keep saying this a lot, right? And again, this is why I understand that people don't want to make these types of videos because you have people in the comments being like, oh, just stick to your rules, or oh, like trade ICT. There's always a lot of people like that. Um, or oh, do this, do that, And it's like a lot of times you can only learn from your own mistakes. I used to tell that to my parents all the time because my parents used to shield me a lot. They used to be like, do this, do that, right? And of course, as parents, they should. And they would always say, learn from our own mistakes. But sometimes, like, you literally have to make your mistakes to be like, oh shoot, like that was stupid. That was dumb, right? So for myself, my mistake is continuing to allow my emotions to master me. It is something that I have struggled with for a very long time and have gotten better with it. Meditation has helped. Um, Pausing, right? Just to think, especially while trading too, has helped. But There are times like these where it's like you take a perfectly reasonable trade, you're in profit, you're getting close to your target, all of a sudden it pops up, we're down, whatever, and it stops you out, and you're emotional about it, you're upset about it, right? But it's about what you do after that fact, after that happens, that allows you to become better, and I really didn't do that at all. So in hindsight, could I have taken my position off at this area? Yes, I could have, right? Because it says Valley Area Low is there. It wasn't there at the time, as you can see, right? Valley Area Low is at 547. As we continued, Valley Area Low continued to shift higher and higher and higher, right? I was paying attention to that, but I was just thinking that we would head a little bit lower, right? So at this point, I should just be taking it off, right? So hindsight, yes, but I really thought that this move signified, okay, we bear flagged here. We're probably going to head one more leg lower, right? We have this no volume. I know I haven't talked about volume nodes in a while, but in reality, we still have this open area of volume nodes to travel through. So I'm like, we'll probably get that. But I should have realized we're at Valley Area lows here, and then news came out, and they were just like, "That's such a great opportunity to buy." So yeah, it's another losing day, huge losing day as well. It's frustrating. Obviously, I know I have one, two. So this is my main account. I have one, two funded accounts. I have another one to activate as well. So it's like I'm still funded. I still have funded accounts, but it's just one of those things where I'm realizing that my um my trading is flawed, right? My emotions are flawed, but emotions will always be a part of the game. It's about learning how to manage them, which I understand that I know I can, right? And recently, again, being sick, work, whatever the case may be, whatever reason I have, right? I've just been more vulnerable and more prone to making the wrong decision, right? So fine, whatever. We have to bounce back stronger. We have to get to the point where even when things are rough, we're still able to make the right decision, right? Whether that be walking away, whether that be taking profit early, whatever, whatever. But at the same time, my trading is also fundamentally flawed. And I believe that someone in the comment section, I think his name, let me see his name real quick. Vector Collector 1322, he said, basically he said that my performance mirrors his, where my losses completely outweigh my wins, which is true. Now, a caveat to that is my losses usually are two trades in a day, and they end up becoming two losses. So, something I was thinking about in the shower is I really think I should be taking, starting from now or whatever, one trade a day, right? You take one trade a day, win or lose, you're done. We need to figure out a way that we can take bigger wins than our losses, right? So obviously, if you win more than you lose, then of course, right? And I think if I just took one trade a day and I win more than I lose, then obviously that will add up. One of the things I was also thinking about too is sizing, right? What is my sizing? My sizing today was astronomical, clearly, right? I mean, we even went over our daily loss limit as well. So again, I don't know if I wouldn't even call it arrogance or ego. It's just I had confidence in the trade again, and I sized up. So clearly that is a mistake. Clearly that is something that you have to be able to accept. And again, I was ready to accept the loss. I did accept the loss, but I wasn't ready to accept it in that way, right? And I think that's the difference too, is I accepted the loss, but the way that it happened, I did not accept, you know? These are just my raw thoughts. Um, I love being able to journal, right? So I always have a daily journal that I write personally, and I have these journals too. and this is a public journal. And to be frank, my trading has been flawed. It's not been perfect, and that's okay. I think there are times where your trading isn't going to be perfect, but are you still able to get the win? Are you still able to do what you need to do? These last 2 days I've been in profit, but I allow myself to lose. Why is that? Right? So what do I need to do? We've talked about break even. When should I go break even? Is it okay if I go break even? Right? Are we someone that we just allow it to go all the way to our stop loss or take profit? Or are we someone that we go break even early? Are we taking off positions early? Are we taking losses earlier, right? Risking that it'll reverse and go back to where you wanted it to go. Like, these are all things where it's like, I need to figure out exactly what aligns with my personality in order for myself to become better, right? So when I made that video last week saying, am I turning a corner? Yes, I actually do believe I am. And these last 2 days are actually showing more that I'm turning a corner rather than not turning a corner. So that sounds crazy, but I believe that in the future, I will look back at this point right here as okay, like we have a lot of work to do, right? And these last 2 days are showing me that these are the flaws and these are the things that you need to fix. A lot of times things will get worse before they get better, right? And I was waiting for that moment for myself, which is obviously right now, where things are looking bad quickly, right? But it's going to allow me to become better. So, yes, this account is on the verge of being blown up. I understand that. Um, we might go another month without a payout, which is fine, but we're learning, and I really just want to stress that to myself too, is that I'm just learning. I'm trying my best. I'm doing my best, doing the best that we can to improve. And, days like yesterday and today are going to be emotional, and I'm not going to do what I need to do, and I'm going to lose. And it's going to be frustrating. I was so frustrated today, extremely frustrated today. Um, but we go again. It happens. So, yeah, I have one more trading day left this week. So, I mean, obviously, this account is like screwed. Maybe we'll just full port it and then see if we can save it, right? If we can save it, great. If we can't save it, then lesson learned. Maybe we take the rest of the month off of funded accounts and just trade combines just so that way we can get a natural process going again. I can see if I need to, um, maybe set places instead of taking profits early, like how I have been, which has been limiting my wins compared to my losses. Start taking losses early, where it's like, okay, well, if it hits this point, I need to take off half of my position, let the rest go, and things like that. So, yeah, you know, ultimately, though, like I said in the beginning, I am a slave to my emotions, and that is something that is completely hindering me at this point in time. It's something that if you're vulnerable, if you're going through something in your life, or you have a lot of stuff going on at work, or even if you're sick, it's going to hinder you, right? In terms of your decision making, in terms of clarity of mind, making sound judgment. It's not something that's going to come easy. So you have to be prepared for that, especially in the midst of a storm, but most definitely before the storm even comes. So, yeah. Um, Funny enough, I said it at the end of my video yesterday and I completely forgot until now, but I was like, come on, Vic, trade stoically, something you didn't do today. Well, I definitely didn't do it today either. But I think that's why I like that name because it reminds me that I need to continuously do my best to emulate that, My perfect version of myself is trading stoically, and I haven't been able to get to that point recently. So, anyway, guys, that's it for today's video. I've been yapping a lot. Raw thoughts again. I really do appreciate anyone who makes suggestions in the comments or encouragement or whatever. I'm not someone that I'm gonna take offense to it, right? Like these are things that I need to improve, but I guess what I will say is again, documenting your journey and showing all of the tough times, right, that will lead me to becoming a profitable trader. It's all worth it, and it makes it difficult when you're showing every single day. But that's what I want to do, and I want to continuously document for me, right? But the fact that it's public makes it a little bit more difficult in the sense of, okay, well, people are gonna think this or people are gonna say that. But at the end of the day, like I have to be the true evaluator of myself, you know. If I am the true evaluator of myself, and I take what other people say into consideration, of course, but that cannot be the sole evaluation. It has to be me as well, in conjunction with valid criticism as well. If I'm able to do that, then I will get to that point. So, anyway, guys, that's it for this video today. Hopefully, you guys are doing well. Hopefully, you guys are trading well, staying healthy, and not being a slave to your emotions. And yeah, keep trading stoically, or start trading stoically on my part.